Hello, beautiful beings. Welcome to my art world. This artwork is a result of energetic mastery. It's from the part of me that is an energetic architect and also the part of me that's an artist. I utilize who I am as an evolutionary to create artwork that is specifically for the evolutionary being, to support them in their healing, integration, transformation, and embodiment process. It's important for you to understand that this artwork is not just artwork. What you see as an image holds codes that are much deeper, right? It holds information from the unseen realms that are much vaster than what you're going to see on canvas. What you are purchasing is a portal. I'm just utilizing art as a method to actually ground the information that is stored within that art piece. So it's important for you to know how this is created then, right? Like, how am I doing this? And how did this come about? I had gotten a psychic reading back in 2000 and probably like 15. And this woman, she was an incredible psychic. Everything that she said, it might have taken several years, right, to come to fruition, but everything she said came to fruition. And one of the things she said is, you're going to create art, and this art is going to directly relate to your process. I don't know what word she used at the time, but I'm going to use my own now, but like your process of unfolding, your process of becoming, your embodiment process, your evolutionary process. Like, she was like, your art's not going to be average artwork. It's not going to be what your mind wants to think it would be. I had no idea what she was talking about. I had always been a creator, and I've kind of had my own forms of art, but I hadn't actually started painting at this time. I hadn't put anything down on to canvas. So the first time I ever did this, it was actually on a box top. If you look at my shop and you look at the portal art, that is it's multi-D integration, I believe is the title. So it's for multi-dimensional integration. It's one of the most powerful evolutionary pieces that I have. And it's so funny because it was one of the first ones that I did. I just like got this feeling. It was like, I have to get this thing on to something. Like, there's something that wants to come through me, and I don't know what it is, but like, if I don't create something right now, like, I'm going to feel really weird in my body. So I just got a top, like a lid for a cardboard box that looks like a canvas. And I got some paints out, and I just started creating this piece, and it just came out of me really fast. And that's the thing, is that different pieces move differently. Some of these pieces have literally taken me years to complete. And the reason why is because I am channeling. So I'm receiving information, and I'm inviting. I'm using feminine invitation to call in evolutionary code for my consciousness. I didn't know this was going to be something that I shared with people. Now, and then I realized, oh my gosh, after this series that I have on my website currently came to a point of like completion, even though they're all evolutionary pieces. And this means that like, I still work with these pieces on an ongoing basis, but there still was like this kind of point of completion with the work that I had with them. I realized, oh my gosh, I meant to share all of these pieces now that I have walked the codes into embodiment within my own soul. So each and every piece that you see here is a collection of codes that I have now integrated and I embody. Like who you see me, Ashtyn, now is a direct reflection. Like my consciousness now is a direct reflection of these art pieces and the codes that I channeled into them. Without them, I would not be who I am today. They're extremely close to my heart because they're close to my embodiment. And I know how powerful these portals are because I've worked with each and every one of them. And this is why I was like, why would I not gift this to the world? These processes that I step through, like for example, collective as the crow, right? That is a perfect piece for an empath. Perfect piece for an empath to start creating and maintaining sovereign boundaries, to understand the beauty of their magic of being so collectively in sync, but then calling all of that magic into themselves. That's one aspect of that piece. And then there's, like the divine feminine portal. This is for womb clearing. Like womb clearing is needed for women on an ongoing basis. And there are layers and layers and depth and depth. And it's also feminine initiation. Same with void of transformation. It's about the deep, 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 the void that calls you way deeper than you ever thought you could go, and through which you resurrect into a new Merkaba, into a blossoming flower. You're emerging like the butterfly, but you had to go through like that real serious liquid cocoon and the breakdown of everything you've ever known. These don't just apply to me. These apply to evolutionary beings. These apply to empaths and the divine feminine, those who want initiation and those who want to remember themselves through past, present, and future timelines, like multidimensional integration. You want to remember your Palladian aspect, that piece is perfect, right? So I realized this was actually a collection that needed to be in the world. These codes wanted to move into the world. So when I first made that piece on this box top, it came out really, really fast. And I had no clue what it was. I didn't know what I was looking at. I had no idea. Like I was like, okay, like it looks like there's a TP. It looks like this is angel. And I was like, wait, that is angel wings. And I didn't know that there were these segments within that piece that took me into different dimensions. And those different dimensions, for example, like native intelligence, right? Like if you have any kind of native past lives, like, Cherokee, any kind of Native American past lives, even African past lives, like that's very low to the ground, earthy. That's in that piece. But then you'll also see there's a spaceship. Those things are not separate. Yes, they're separate, but they're also together. Native intelligence directly connected to star beings. And so it brings us back into the collective whole that we are. Each of these pieces has codes and depth and layer and integrative connections. It's to support the evolutionary being to coming home to into their own wholeness. It's to activate, to initiate. All of my work, I'm a walking initiation. I am a portal. You move through, work with me. I'm going to take you through corridors and corridors and portals, deepening and expanding inside of yourself. And my artwork is to a reflection of that. So I'm a portal. I'm also an energetic architect. I'm have significant mastery when it comes to building energetic structures. This is also something that I teach my clients in my ongoing work with them. How do you create energetically around yourself to move yourself into new realms of consciousness? So being a portal myself, I work with a lot of portals. Some of you know some of my history and my grid work and like all the things that I'm doing with portals. I'm doing things with portals all the time, constantly. So this is a realm of my mastery. This is something that really moves through me uniquely. And this is too what you are purchasing. Again, you're not just purchasing an art piece. Yes, it can look beautiful on your wall and it's meant to call you in. But really, when you're looking at the artwork, see deeper, be in your body, feel how your body responds. Does something open and activate within you while you're being with it? Is there something that's like having you lean in? Those are the codes you're leaning into. You're leaning into the code. You're leaning into the deeper layers. There's something that your soul wants in its own process. And it's going, I thirst for that. I desire that. I want that. So when I am being with these pieces, I am channeling. I'm actually calling in, right? I'm calling in codes for my consciousness, but then I realized I was actually calling in codes for collective consciousness, for the consciousness of evolutionary beings, for the people that I'd be working with in the future. And so I'm calling in very particular codes and essences and elements. And it's like that in itself is its own artistry, right? We have like the artist, that's the painter, but like I'm a weaver, I'm a divine creator. I am creating portals, I'm creating pathways. I am working with multidimensional layers. I am bringing codes to ground. And so again, when I work with my ongoing clients, they know like Ashtyn's going to take me from these high energetic realms, and then she's going to show me how I can take all of that and I can actually weave that into my physical reality, how I can ground that so that it's here. It's not just there, it's here. Putting the code into the artwork is like I'm doing the energetic architecture work. I'm using feminine invitation, and I am so mindful when I am creating, because see, I'm not trying to have anything come in and through my channel, right? Or come in and through into a piece that is not meant. So I literally can't work with my pieces unless they tell me it is time. This is why I can work with a piece for 2 years, because I'm not ready to receive that code yet. There's something that I actually have to do and be and become, that I have to walk into life until I'm ready for the next layer. That's just evolutionary process. So I'm with evolutionary process as I'm inviting the next code in. So I am a conduit to ground and anchor the code into the physical reality and dimension, and to open pathways for anyone who walks behind me in their own, yes, unique path, but we have shared arenas, right? Who want to move through that pathway. I'm like opening and widening the pathway for you to receive the code more fluidly, with more grace, with more ease. That doesn't mean it's going to be easy. Evolutionary process isn't easy, but it means that you have a lot more fluidity, whereas I'm like having to carve it out, carve it out, carve it out. I've done some of that groundwork to support you in the fluidity of your own movement into the next evolution of yourself through the portals, through the codes of these art pieces. And it's important to know, when I said you have your unique journey, I actually take each of these portals and I make sure to attune them to the client and the customer that's receiving them. So these portals are going to be directly related to your process. They're going to link up to where you are in your level of consciousness. And those codes are going to drop when you are ready to receive them. So you do have to be an active participant and build a relationship with this artwork. You can't just take it and put it up on your wall and think it's going to do the work for me. No, I didn't think that the art was going to do the work for me when I was having to walk the process and to even be able to do the artwork, period. This artwork is meant to be a living, breathing organism, a portal to support you in your process. That means that you have to show up and you have to build a relationship with that portal to receive the information that it is so ready and willing to provide to you. So you have to place it somewhere in your house, like a wall that you're going to see, right? You're going to look at. When I'm working with a piece, I make sure to place it somewhere that, like, sometimes even I'll wake up in the morning and I know that my eyes are going to go right there and I'm going to just be with it. I am here to receive what you have to provide to me. And I'm here to walk this into the world. And so the art is going to be placed somewhere in your house. The portal is going to be placed somewhere in your house. And you're going to show up devoted, just like you're devoted and committed to your evolutionary process, to be with that artwork so that you are working with it and it is working with you. It's not going to evolve you just sitting in your house. You have to show up for your process, but it is going to expedite that process. It is going to expedite that process, and it's going to support that process if you're willing to work with the portal as it is meant to be worked with. This is also why I offer this artwork to be an assistant, right? To work in conjunction with people who are working with me on a one-on-one basis. Or if you've done any of my groups, a lot of times my groups, I'm like, oh yeah, there's an art piece, there's a portal that is so perfect for this group. And so I share that because you can then amplify your work. You can amplify your process within that work. You can deepen into it with the use and the addition of these art portals. So this is what my art is. It's very unique, it's different, and that's why it was important for me to come here and have you all understand more of the depth of what's being provided here. One additional thing that I want to say, because I don't feel like I fully completed it, about my intentionality when I'm working with these pieces. I cannot watch particular TV shows while I'm doing this. I turn on music that is similar to the coding of the art. I move similar to the coding of the art. I feel similar to the coding of the art. I am deeply, deeply present while I am creating, and I'm creating cleanly. And this is important to know because it's also a reflection of all the work that I do. I create integrity containers for evolution. That includes like group work with me, one-on-one work. That also applies to my artwork. These are clean codes. These are clean codes. They are pristine. I'm extremely mindful about what I'm putting into life. And then you get to be the inheritor of this clean code and have it work with you, and you work with it if you choose it and it chooses you. So I invite you to go check out the artwork. Feel in your body if a piece resonates with you. And if it does, it's kind of like a crystal in a crystal shop. It's like zing, 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 zing. I'm the one. I want to work with you. Do you want to work with me? Then I invite you to purchase this piece and work with it and be with it and see how it evolves you and you evolve with it. Again, these are living, breathing organisms. So 20 years from now, that portal will still be active as long as you are participating and being with it. Or sometimes we have to step away for a little bit, but then we arrive back and it has new code for us. You don't have to go to Sedona, Arizona to be with a portal that's going to support your conscious evolution. I'm offering you that and an art piece that you get to place into your sanctuary, into your house, into your room, your home, right? Into your most intimate space. Thank you so much for coming to my page. Feel free to check out the artwork and again, feel into your body if something feels right for you. And if it does, I so look forward to customizing it to your consciousness so that upon arrival, it is exactly the magic that is meant for you. Much love.